20 powerful Buddhist sayings to inspire your journey. Buddhist wisdom. 1. The mind is everything. What you think you become. Buddha. The mind is everything. What you think you become. This powerful statement from Buddha highlights the transformative power of our thoughts. Our minds are the architects of our lives. What we think shapes how we feel, how we act, and ultimately, who we become. Think about it. Every decision you make, every relationship you build, and every challenge you face begins in the mind. If you cultivate positive thoughts, you'll create a positive reality. If your thoughts are filled with negativity, doubt, and fear, you'll find that your life reflects those feelings. For example, if you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, you're reinforcing that belief. You might start to see yourself through a lens of inadequacy, which can hold you back in many areas of life. But on the flip side, when you choose to believe in your strengths and possibilities, you open the door to growth and success. The mind is incredibly powerful. By learning to guide our thoughts, we can become the person we aspire to be. Practice mindfulness and meditation to train your mind. When we master our thoughts, we master our lives. Take a moment today to reflect on your thoughts. Ask yourself, are these thoughts helping me grow, or are they holding me back? If you notice negativity, try this simple exercise. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and repeat to yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I am growing. Small shifts in your inner dialogue can lead to profound changes over time. 2. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Buddha. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. This profound teaching from Buddha reminds us of the importance of living fully in the present. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. And the present moment is all we truly have. How often do we replay moments from the past, wishing we had acted differently, or find ourselves consumed by worry about what tomorrow might bring? These habits trap us in cycles of regret and anxiety, robbing us of the joy and peace available right now. Imagine you're walking through a beautiful garden. The flowers are blooming, and the air is fresh. But instead of noticing the beauty around you, you're stuck thinking about yesterday's argument or stressing over tomorrow's deadlines. The present moment slips away, unnoticed and unappreciated. To live fully in the present means to truly experience what is happening right now, whether it's a simple meal, a conversation, or even the sensation of your breath. Being present allows us to engage with life more deeply and to find peace amidst the chaos. Here's a practice for you. The next time you catch yourself stuck in past memories or future worries, pause. Take a deep breath, feel your feet on the ground, and gently bring your attention back to what you're doing right now. You could try this while eating, walking, or even working. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel to stay present, and the more peace you'll find in your everyday life. 3. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. Buddha. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. This timeless teaching from Buddha reveals the destructive power of anger, not on the outside world, but on ourselves. When we allow anger to control us, it becomes a heavy burden we carry, impacting our peace of mind, our relationships, and even our health. Think about the last time you felt truly angry. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, or a friend said something hurtful. How did it make you feel? Your heart may have raced. Your mind swirled with thoughts of retaliation, and perhaps you even said or did something you later regretted. The situation that sparked your anger may have passed, but the effects of holding on to that emotion lingered, causing unnecessary suffering. Anger clouds our judgment and consumes our energy. It can destroy relationships and harm our physical and mental well-being. But when we learn to manage our anger, we reclaim control over our lives. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can respond with clarity and wisdom. Here's a simple practice for managing anger. The next time you feel it rising, pause and take 3 deep breaths. With each breath, silently say to yourself, I release this anger. Acknowledge the emotion without judgment, and remind yourself that holding on to anger only hurts you. Over time, This practice will help you respond to challenging situations with calm and compassion, rather than letting anger take over. 4. Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. Buddha. Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. This wisdom from Buddha shifts our focus from external circumstances to the power of our internal mindset. True happiness doesn't come from wealth, status, or possessions. It's cultivated from within. Consider this. A person living in a modest home with few possessions can experience profound joy if their mind is filled with gratitude and contentment. On the other hand, someone surrounded by luxury may feel deeply unfulfilled if their thoughts are dominated by dissatisfaction or greed. It's not the external conditions, but the lens through which we view life that determines our happiness. For example, imagine starting your day with gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you lack, you acknowledge the simple joys, a warm cup of tea, the sound of birds singing, or the presence of a loved one. By nurturing positive thoughts, you shift your perspective, and happiness naturally follows. Here's a practice for you. Every morning, take a few moments to write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be big or small, significant or simple. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to focus on the positives in life, helping you cultivate lasting happiness from within. 5. There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Buddha. There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. This profound teaching from Buddha reminds us that happiness is not something to be achieved in the distant future. It's not a destination at the end of a long journey. Instead, it's the way we choose to live our lives every single day. Many people spend their lives chasing happiness, believing it lies in a promotion, a new relationship, or achieving a specific goal. But often, when we finally attain what we've been chasing, the happiness is fleeting, and we quickly shift our focus to the next pursuit. This endless cycle leaves us feeling empty and restless. Instead, Buddha teaches us to find happiness in the present moment, in the small, everyday actions and experiences. When you approach life with kindness, gratitude, and mindfulness, happiness becomes a natural part of your journey, not something you're constantly striving for. Here's something to try. Take a moment each day to do something that brings you joy, no matter how small. It could be a walk in nature, sharing a laugh with a friend, or enjoying a quiet cup of tea. Remind yourself that happiness is not something to seek. It's something to embrace in every step you take. 6. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Buddha. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. This teaching from Buddha is a gentle reminder that true peace cannot be found in external circumstances. It is cultivated within our own minds and hearts, independent of the chaos or calm around us. Many of us spend our lives searching for peace in external things, whether it's a new job, a perfect vacation, or the right relationship. While these experiences might bring temporary comfort, they cannot provide the deep, lasting peace we long for. That kind of peace comes only when we look inward and learn to quiet our minds. Imagine sitting by a still lake. The surface is calm, reflecting the beauty of the sky above. Now picture a storm coming in, stirring the water into waves. The lake itself hasn't changed. It's still the same body of water, but its surface has been disturbed by external forces. Our minds are much like that lake. When we find peace within, we can remain calm, even in life's storms. Here's a practice for you. Set aside 5 minutes a day for quiet reflection or meditation. Sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. As thoughts arise, acknowledge them gently, then let them go. Over time, this practice helps you connect with the peace that is always within you, no matter what's happening in the world around you. 7. The root of suffering is attachment. Buddha. The root of suffering is attachment. With this teaching, Buddha identifies one of the most profound truths of human experience. Much of our suffering comes from our clinging to things, people, and outcomes that are impermanent by nature. We often attach ourselves to material possessions, relationships, or even ideas about how life should be. But when these things inevitably change or slip away, we experience pain and loss. This attachment creates a cycle of suffering. As we resist the natural flow of life's impermanence, think about a time when you held tightly to something, perhaps a relationship that ended or a goal that didn't work out as planned. The more you clung to it, the harder it became to let go, and the more pain you felt. Yet, when you eventually released that attachment, you may have discovered a sense of freedom and relief. Buddhist teaching doesn't mean we should stop caring or enjoying life. Instead, it encourages us to appreciate things without clinging to them, understanding that change is inevitable. Here's a practice for you. Reflect on one thing you're holding onto too tightly, whether it's a possession, a person, or an expectation. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to let this go? You don't have to act immediately, but simply visualizing the release can help ease your attachment. Over time, this practice can reduce your suffering and help you embrace life's natural impermanence with grace. 8. If you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. Buddha. If you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. This beautiful teaching from Buddha illustrates the profound connection between giving and receiving. Acts of kindness not only benefit others, but also bring light and meaning into our own lives. When we help someone in need, we uplift not only their spirit, but our own as well. Whether it's offering a comforting word, lending a hand, or simply being present for someone, these acts create a ripple effect of positivity. The joy and fulfillment we feel when giving are as much a gift to ourselves as to the person we help. For instance, think about a time when you helped a friend through a difficult situation. Perhaps you listened without judgment or shared a kind gesture. While you were supporting them, you likely felt a sense of purpose, warmth, and connection. This is the light that giving brings into our lives. Here's a suggestion. Make it a point to perform one act of kindness each day, no matter how small. It could be as simple as holding the door for someone, sending a thoughtful message, or volunteering your time. Notice how these small actions not only brighten someone else's day, but also fill your own heart with peace and joy. 9. In the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. Buddha. In the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. This profound teaching from Buddha encapsulates the essence of a meaningful life, one centered on love, mindfulness, and acceptance. Love, in its truest form, brings connection and purpose to our lives. It's not just romantic love, but the compassion and kindness we extend to others, whether family, friends, or even strangers. Living gently means embracing life with mindfulness, treading lightly on this earth, and acting with care in all we do. And finally, letting go gracefully teaches us the art of release, understanding that not everything is meant to stay in our lives, and that clinging to what's gone only prolongs suffering. For instance, imagine a relationship that has ended. Holding on to resentment or wishing for things to return to how they were can cause ongoing pain. But when we let go with grace and gratitude for what the relationship taught us, we free ourselves to move forward and grow. Here's a reflection for you. Take a moment to ask yourself, am I living with love, gentleness, and the ability to let go? If not, start small. Call someone you care about and tell them what they mean to you. Practice kindness in your actions today. And if there's something or someone you've been struggling to release, take one small step toward letting go, perhaps by journaling your feelings or meditating on acceptance. 10. To understand everything is to forgive everything. Buddha. To understand everything is to forgive everything. This powerful teaching from Buddha invites us to approach life with compassion and empathy. When we truly understand someone's pain, struggles, or motivations, forgiveness becomes a natural response. Often, our anger or resentment toward others is rooted in misunderstandings. We focus on their actions without seeing the circumstances or emotions that led to those actions. But when we take the time to look deeper, to understand the why behind their behavior, our perspective shifts. We see their humanity, their flaws, fears, and vulnerabilities, much like our own. For example, think about a time when someone hurt you. At first, their actions may have seemed unjustifiable, but as you learned more about their struggles or intentions, it became easier to forgive. Understanding doesn't excuse the behavior, but it softens the judgment and allows forgiveness to heal the wound. Here's a practice for you. The next time you feel hurt or wronged, pause and ask yourself, what might this person be going through that I don't see? Imagine stepping into their shoes and viewing the situation from their perspective. This exercise doesn't only help you forgive, it also lightens your own heart, freeing you from the weight of anger and resentment. 11. What we think, we become. Buddha, what we think, we become. With these simple yet profound words, Buddha highlights the transformative power of our thoughts. Every action we take and every decision we make begins with a thought. Over time, our thoughts shape not only our mindset, but also the reality we experience. Consider this. If you fill your mind with self-doubt, negativity, and fear, those thoughts will influence how you interact with the world. You may hesitate to pursue opportunities or struggle to see the good in your life. On the other hand, when you nurture positive, constructive thoughts, you build confidence, resilience, and a sense of purpose. For example, imagine someone facing a challenging situation, like starting a new job or learning a new skill. If their thoughts are filled with "I can't do this," they may struggle or even give up. But if they shift their mindset to "I'm learning, and I'll get better with practice," they open themselves to growth and success. Here's a suggestion. Spend a few minutes each morning setting a positive intention for your day. It could be as simple as repeating, "I am capable," or "I choose positivity." Write it down, say it aloud, or reflect on it during meditation. Over time, you'll notice how these intentional thoughts shape your actions and, ultimately, your life. 12. Health is the greatest gift. Contentment the greatest wealth. Faithfulness the best relationship. Buddha. Health is the greatest gift. Contentment the greatest wealth. Faithfulness the best relationship. This timeless teaching from Buddha reminds us of the fundamental values that lead to a fulfilling life. While society often emphasizes material possessions or status, Buddha directs our focus to what truly matters. First, consider health. Without it, even the greatest riches hold little value. Physical and mental well-being are the foundations of a happy and productive life. Yet, health is often overlooked until it's lost. Contentment, Buddha's greatest wealth, highlights the importance of appreciating what we have rather than constantly chasing more. And faithfulness, whether to loved ones, friends, or our own principles, builds the trust and depth that sustain meaningful relationships. Think about someone who embodies these values. Perhaps they live a simple life, prioritizing their health, finding joy in the small things, and showing unwavering loyalty to their loved ones. Such a person radiates a quiet sense of peace and fulfillment. Here's a challenge for you. Reflect on these 3 principles in your life. Are you taking care of your health? If not, commit to one small change, like drinking more water or getting regular exercise. Are you content with what you have? Or are you always seeking more? Try practicing gratitude by listing 3 things you're thankful for each day. And finally, are you staying faithful to the people and values that matter most? Reach out to a loved one today to remind them of their importance in your life. 13. It is better to travel well than to arrive. Buddha. It is better to travel well than to arrive. With this teaching, Buddha reminds us that life is not about reaching a specific destination or achieving a single goal. Instead, the true value lies in how we journey, the experiences, lessons, and growth along the way. Often, we become so focused on the end result that we miss the beauty of the process. Think about a project, a dream, or even a personal journey you've pursued. Was the joy only in achieving the goal? Or did you find fulfillment in the steps that brought you there? Buddha encourages us to embrace the journey, to travel well with mindfulness, patience, and gratitude for each moment. For instance, consider someone training for a marathon. If their sole focus is crossing the finish line, they might overlook the daily progress, the camaraderie of fellow runners, or the sense of discipline they're building. The journey itself holds the richness of the experience. Here's a practice for you. Choose one goal you're working toward and pause to appreciate the process. Reflect on what you've learned, how you've grown, and the small victories along the way. Remind yourself that life is a series of moments, and each step is as important as the destination. 14. The trouble is, you think you have time. Buddha. The trouble is, you think you have time. This striking reminder from Buddha urges us to recognize the impermanence of life and the importance of living fully in the present. Time is one of our most precious resources, yet we often take it for granted, assuming there will always be more. How often do we postpone what truly matters? We tell ourselves we'll spend more time with loved ones, pursue our dreams, or practice self-care someday. But someday is never guaranteed. Life moves quickly, and the opportunities we delay may not wait for us. For example, think about a meaningful conversation you've been putting off with someone important in your life. Perhaps you assume there's plenty of time to say what needs to be said, but the reality is, life's unpredictability means the right moment is always now. Here's a call to action. Identify one thing you've been postponing, whether it's reconnecting with a loved one, pursuing a goal, or simply taking time for yourself. Make a commitment to act on it today, even if it's just a small step. Remember, the present moment is all we truly have. Use it wisely and meaningfully. 15. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Buddha. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. With this teaching, Buddha highlights the importance of self-compassion. Often, we extend kindness and care to others while neglecting to treat ourselves with. Self-love is not selfish, it is essential. When we fail to nurture ourselves, we cannot fully give to others. By learning to value and care for ourselves, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience that radiates outward. Positively, imagine a friend who constantly criticizes themselves, feels unworthy, and neglects their own well-being. How would you comfort them? Now consider, do you offer that same kindness to yourself? Many of us are harder on ourselves than we'd ever be on someone else. This teaching reminds us to be gentle with ourselves, to forgive our mistakes, and to honor our own needs. Here's a practice for you. Each day, take a moment to say something kind to yourself. It could be as simple as, I am doing my best, or I deserve happiness. Write these affirmations down or say them aloud. Over time, this practice of self-compassion will help you develop a deeper sense of love and appreciation for who you are. 16. Let go of the past. Only then will you truly live. Buddha. Let go of the past. Only then will you truly live. This teaching from Buddha emphasizes the need to release the weight of past experiences, regrets, and pain in order to embrace the present and create a meaningful future. The past often holds us captive, filling our minds with what-ifs and if-onlys. While reflecting on the past can offer lessons, dwelling on it prevents us from fully experiencing the present. The more we cling to past mistakes, losses, or even successes, the harder it becomes to move forward. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with every regret or disappointment from your past. With every step, the weight becomes more unbearable, slowing you down and draining your energy. Letting go of the past is like setting down that backpack. It frees you to walk lightly and focus on what lies ahead. Here's a suggestion for you. Write down one thing from your past that you're holding onto, a mistake, a regret, or a painful memory. Reflect on what it taught you and why it no longer serves you. Then, as a symbolic act, tear up the paper or burn it safely. This small gesture can help you release the emotional burden and take a step toward living more fully in the present. 17. You cannot control the results, only your actions. Buddha. You cannot control the results, only your actions. This teaching from Buddha reminds us to focus on what is within our power, our own effort and intentions, while letting go of the attachment to outcomes. Life is unpredictable, and trying to control everything only leads to frustration and disappointment. Think about a project or goal you've pursued. You likely put in your best effort, but the final result might not have been what you hoped for. Maybe circumstances beyond your control influence the outcome. Buddha teaches us that peace comes from knowing we did our best, regardless of the result. For example, consider a gardener planting seeds. They can water the soil, ensure the plants get sunlight, and tend to their growth, but they cannot control the weather or guarantee a perfect harvest. Their peace lies in the care they put into the process, not in the final yield. Here's a practice for you. The next time you face a challenge or goal, set an intention to focus on your actions rather than the outcome. Ask yourself, what can I do today to move closer to my goal? Celebrate the effort you put in, knowing that the results, while important, are beyond your ultimate control. This mindset frees you from unnecessary stress and allows you to find joy in the journey. 18. Every morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. Buddha. Every morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. This teaching from Buddha encourages us to see each day as a fresh start, free from the burdens of the past. It reminds us that our actions in the present moment are what define our lives. So often, we carry yesterday's mistakes, regrets, or failures into today, allowing them to shape our mindset and choices. But Buddha teaches that we have the power to begin anew every single day. Each morning offers an opportunity to reset our intentions and take purposeful steps forward. Imagine waking up with a clean slate, knowing that your actions today can steer your life in the direction you desire. Whether it's improving a relationship, working toward a goal, or simply being kinder to yourself, the possibilities are endless when you approach each day with mindfulness and intention. Here's a practice for you. When you wake up tomorrow, take a moment before starting your day to set an intention. Ask yourself, what do I want to focus on today? Write it down, if you can, and carry it with you throughout the day. Whether it's being more patient, productive, or present, this practice will help you make the most of each day as a new beginning. 19. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. Buddha. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. In this profound teaching, Buddha reveals the transformative power of love and compassion. Meeting hatred with more hatred only perpetuates a cycle of conflict. While love has the power to heal and bring peace, hatred often arises from fear, misunderstanding, or pain. When we respond with anger, we amplify these emotions, creating further division. But when we choose love through kindness, empathy, or forgiveness, we break the cycle and create the possibility for healing and understanding. Consider a disagreement with someone you care about. Responding with harsh words or resentment only deepens the divide. However, approaching the situation with patience and a willingness to listen can lead to reconciliation. Love doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but it does mean choosing peace over escalation. Here's a practice for you. The next time you feel anger or resentment towards someone, pause and take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what would love look like in this situation? Maybe it's choosing not to respond in anger, offering understanding, or simply letting go of the need to be right. Small acts of love can create ripples of peace in your life and the lives of others. 20. A disciplined mind brings happiness. Buddha. A disciplined mind brings happiness. This teaching from Buddha underscores the importance of mastering our thoughts and emotions. A mind that is scattered, reactive, or consumed by negativity cannot experience lasting happiness. But a disciplined mind, one that is calm, focused, and intentional, creates the foundation for peace and joy. Discipline doesn't mean suppression or rigidity. It means cultivating awareness and control over our mental habits. Think about a time when you let emotions like anger, fear, or distraction take over. How did it affect your choices and well-being? Now imagine the freedom of being able to guide your thoughts and emotions, rather than being controlled by them. For instance, a person who practices mindfulness can navigate challenges with greater ease, staying focused and resilient even in difficult situations. This discipline allows them to respond to life thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively. Here's a practice for you. Start by dedicating just 5 minutes a day to mindfulness meditation. Sit quietly, focus on your breath, and gently bring your mind back when it wanders. Over time, this simple practice will strengthen your mental discipline, helping you cultivate the happiness that comes from a calm and focused mind. Thank you for taking the time to explore these profound Buddhist teachings with us. May these words bring you peace, clarity, and inspiration in your daily life. If you enjoyed this journey and found it meaningful, we invite you to subscribe to Universal Understanding. By subscribing, you'll join a community of like-minded individuals seeking wisdom and mindfulness. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss new insights and teachings. Until we meet again, may you walk your path with kindness, understanding, and inner peace.